enough boy you talk about. How the song they go, Craig? With TJ attack, how it go? Man a dance on new topic. Them never go on tropics yet. Them never go on pink wall yet. But you see me go over this already? And you see? After me go over there, some people are bad mind me. They say me is a culture vulture. So me come from foreign. So me is a white man. Me a thief the culture. Me do this blood thing since I'm 14 years old. Down the countryside of Israel. Me play reggae and dancehall music. Me not sell out. Me move to Jamaica to do this.
Many to society me. To me no live out them want me to live. Think for myself inside me get me strength. If you not see yourself as God then where the sense. The sense. The sense.
First, I want to apologize to all those who had gone to Emancipation Park before getting in touch with us and realize that we are at Mandela Park. We apologize for that because initially that was the thought that we would have gathered at Emancipation Park. But we were not aware that this park had become available because, as you all know, it was locked up for more than a year. Just to look around, and when I saw it opened, I said, wait. And then we spoke to the National Solid Waste Authority, and brothers and sisters, one struggle, because we said now that the park is available, we want to meet at Mandela Park today. And you can imagine every excuse in the book was given to I and I. But we are accustomed to that, and therefore we do not shrink from our responsibility. And we made it quite clear to them that we are going to come here today once the park is open. So I apologize for those who had gone to Emancipation Park. Brothers and sisters, where did Nzinga come from? Now, some of you may have heard her on my radio program on Wednesday night, and she gave a beautiful history of the incident that happened. So you all can look up on YouTube and you will hear it when I spoke to her on the phone on Wednesday night. Don't be perturbed by what comes out in the Star or what is circulating about people saying that and that. What you do, and in anything, you analyze, you dissect, you distill. If I and I make that accusation against the police force, the police woman is part of the force. And if we make that allegations against the force, and not once so far that the police have issued a statement denying our allegation, what does that say to us? Dear brothers and sisters, if we have been saying that publicly in the newspaper, on the television and on the radio, and not once has the police high command issued one statement in defense of their police woman, what does that say to us? So don't be disguised by those little propaganda that they're coming with. No. Brothers and sisters, even before we reach the cutting of the locks, let us analyze it. She was in a taxi. A policeman came and sprayed a man in the taxi and sprayed in the taxi. Down to a mother with a baby was in the taxi when the policeman let off his pepper spray. And brothers and sisters, we are doing the research because we're going to find that policeman and make him understand the language that we speak. We're going to let him understand because that's where it started. You don't go and look at a taxi and spray pepper spray in it with women and children. At the back, women and baby. At the back, brothers and sisters. Do we understand, brothers and sisters, that when you join in this struggle now, that it ain't gonna be just some little one incident? Let us go further. The sister was taken to court. She was told that she was being charged for breach of COVID rules. When she nearly took off, having been sprayed, she come out to the taxi protesting and took off the mask. So they said they're going to charge her for breach of COVID rules. But when she came to court, they charged her for disorderly conduct. Again, analyze it, brothers and sisters. These are common things that they use against us black people for years. Things like breach of vagrancy law. Things like suspected person. Things like cuss bad word. So disorderly conduct is one of the general things that they come with when they have nothing. So she wasn't told that that was supposed to be her charge, but when she was brought to court for that, she pleaded not guilty. The policeman who took her from the taxi and supposed to be the one who charged her did not come to court. Yet the judge, listening to another police who wasn't there, and that police did not give evidence on oath, the judge found her guilty. No, brothers and sisters, you plead not guilty. There was no trial and the judge find you guilty. Many of I and I have experienced that in the courthouse. Isn't that so, brothers and sisters? Have we seen these things happen over and over? Because it's not nobody. It's okay in Rasta. So they do these things to us regularly. So, brothers and sisters, we already know the name of that judge, and we are going to make sure that he don't try another Rasta. Do you realize the new language we speak, brothers and sisters? Because we ain't gonna just pause around the little corner part of it. This is a totality. In other words, when we use the word systematic racism, institutionalized discrimination, that's what we mean. From the police at the taxi, from being brought. And one thing we are going to make sure that judge is going to declare that when this sister was brought before him, she had her locks. These are issues that he cannot deny that. No, here she's $6,000 or 10 days. She stayed in custody 5 days. Normally, if you are charged 10 months or $10,000 and you stay in custody for 5 months, you don't pay the full amount at the end of it. You pay proportionate to the amount of time you have already spent. So if she stayed in custody 5 days out of 10, how much should she be paying? I don't hear her now. And we can ask her mother who is here, how much did the mother pay? How much did the mother pay? Say $6,000. So even before we start, the government owe us $3,000. I don't know if you see the sequence of injustice, brothers and sisters. And we don't reach the trimming of the locks yet, you know. I don't reach that part yet, you know. I want you to see, brothers and sisters, when we say Babylon, when we say that we are going to now fight against this whole system, you must put all of them together. When the sister went taken to the police station at Four Path, remember now, she's coming from the Maypen courthouse. At Maypen, you are taken to a holding area where they have everybody, man, woman, and picnic. From there now, they are taking you now to 4 parts because they declare, they deem that area the female holding area, or the female prison as it were. She's staying there. She is then subject to cruel and inhuman treatment because they ask her to pull down her underwear, to unfold her brassiere. Remember, she's coming from court, you know. So if she had any weapon when she reached there, she would have it at court. You couldn't go to court with no weapon. But like somebody said, many of them get their kicks from this type of behavior because there is no law that permits you to undress a sister upon entering the police station. There's no law that allows that. So again, we see the level of violation, brothers and sisters. So when they put out things, whether on social media or in the Star or so, again, you analyze it. I don't reach locks yet, you know. I don't reach locks yet to make you realize what the sister went through even before. In other words, the locks then now becomes the culmination of the violations. It becomes the climax. Because she has been subject to so much building up to that stage. So brothers and sisters, now, when they took her to the cells, and in these cells, there are no beds, there are no bunks. You sleep on the cold concrete. That's what they do to our sisters. If you're lucky to get a newspaper, you make that your bed. And sometimes you use a piece of your clothing to lay down that you know contract cold from the concrete. That was where they put the sister. Now we all know, both man and woman, that when you go through all this stress, all this trauma and drama, your period comes down on you. Because all of this now, it's like the body is giving up now to say, Lord have mercy, what is in the book? So the sister period came down on her. She asked for assistance at the station. They told her, no, we don't provide nothing like that. So the sister had to bear those conditions until her mother could arrive a few days later with sanitary conveniences. I'm saying all of this that our people, brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, realize what goes on in Jamaica and realize the extent that many of things. Because maybe if they hadn't cut her locks, we would be hearing and discussing all of this now. Because people take these things for granted and then go back to their home and resume their living. So having now reached the climax and to do what they have done, and like I said, the police, high command, and so on, have not made any statement, whether out of respect, whether out of apology, etc. And we take this to judge them even more. So brothers and sisters, the Father has chosen little Queen Nzinga to lead us now to school. The ministry is no longer going to give St. George's College 1 single cent. And that was when the principal of St. George's College relinquish his position. But why we have to keep going it over? The next step shouldn't be that we ask the ministry not to give public money to any school. We shouldn't go over that. It should be a change, a situation now where the ministry charge that principal for a breach of a criminal act. If he's not charged under some law, he or she, and brought before a court, it will continue. You got to do something diabolically to cool the situation. This is not a case where we are going to accept apology and we're going to accept. We will certainly accept damages, money.
Let me say this. Every Rastafari in here, I pay homage on this day because your locks, my terminology for your locks as an activist, your locks is your heartbeat ID. That is what every single person in the world used to identify a Rastafari. I am Jamaican. I might not have locks, but I have a Rastafari heart. So here is it. You cannot make anyone remove your heartbeat ID and there is no damages paid. Let me tell you this, my people. I am telling you this. You need to organize civil rights attorneys who are specialized activist attorneys for this case. And if it means you go to the Supreme Court, you go. Because this is a violation of not only your civil rights, but your sacred rights. Your locks is sacred. For a woman, a Rastafarian woman, her locks is her beauty. It is the most sacred part when you see a Rastafarian woman walking down with her locks flowing on her shoulders, or it is at the top of the arch of you know where. Every man looks at that locks. So, outside of that, remember the terminology. Your locks is your heartbeat ID. It is what everybody in the world used to identify you. That's the first thing they see, so they know there goes a Rastafari. Rastafari has paid its dues to this country. Rastafari has put us on the stage, the world stage. They have endured indignity everywhere. And I stand with you today. I stand with you today and I say, rise up, my people. Feel your spirit touch the sky. With united consciousness, as Empress K would say, I want my people's spirit to rise. I don't want you to suppress this. This is not a one-day wonder. This is not something in passing. It is fundamentally who you are. So if somebody take care the core of your fundamental self, you become a shell and a nobody. You have to identify. It is sacredly who you are. And I'm saying to every artist, I expected to see the most powerful Rastafari artist out here. Where are you? Where are you hiding? Where are you hiding? Police discrimination is sometimes masked. It is so colored. Discrimination is so colored in this country. But it's not classism, it's racism, it's skinnism, because I see my beautiful black brothers and sisters are bleaching. So let me tell you this, my people. I have a little chance. I want to beat the drums. I want to beat the drums. It is called the time has come. The time has come, my people. As Rastafari, you must stand up and take your place. You have paid your dues to this country. You have lifted us up. You have risen us to heights beyond heights. just said before I go into my chant, it was Elizabeth who said it, but Bob Marley sang it. Is that until the color of a man's skin is of no more significance than the color of his eyes, then you've got to have war until the basic human rights are equally guaranteed to all, without regards to race. Then there must be war. Let me tell you something. It's not only race we're talking about. When it said that is with regards to creed, it is regard to where you're from or you're socialized. So that statement is a missile statement. It is so powerful. So what I say to my guys now, the time has come. Come, the time has come when in the run, we're in alignment with the rough of pump. The time has come, the devil has to flee. We got up on we knee, we never pay no fee. The time has come, we have become vigilante, take back we country. Them a kill off, we picnic, them a rape off, we anti, them evil and take off all people panty. Time has come, the time has come, the time has come. Eat not to run, eat not to run. Thank you, my people. Let not this be only today. Rise up and fight for your rights. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Human rights activist Sister Delia. Yeah. Say all of granny panty never take off. And some of them a take off with picking them like a nappy. Lightning! So we look out for all injustice. And I hear the sister, alright? So here what happened. Here what happened. Before, hold on. Because we have a brother in the house. We have a brother in the house, and the brother had to take time to be here. And we are asking, anytime we gather in this, because we can't carry the log and the firewood in there. If I even want coal pot, but we can't come here and have a fire. A symbolism of the fire. When we are coming out of the heart and mind and burn a fire, because we have a virgin in the house so that accept us. Light up the fire, put your lighters in the air. Because this is a virgin of no fear. This is a virgin there to represent the youths as he's been represented
live
music throughout the globe. So without further ado, put your lighters in the air. When the soldiers have the army there, because the virgins there and recruit them globally. Beloved, Rastafari son, chronic, in the house.
I was here before. It's not a thing where I have to try to keep the passion down so the truth can come forward. See, because sometimes the passion cloud the truth more time. See, but the truth is this. If my daughter is in my house, who can touch her? If my daughter is at home with I and I. So when Bob Marley asked, who's gonna stay at home when the freedom fighters are fighting? It's a serious question. Serious question that time. So we can they answer, oh, we want this and we want that. We want to use them at home with Rasta, eat Rasta food, read Rasta book. You know much Rasta book? Honorable Chakula give I and I life. You see me as my father. Hundreds of books. Yeah, I'm not going to university. We're never going to university or none of them things. See, but them invite you at universities all over the world. We talk about things you read from you, you learn from your father. See? So, we see say, the teachings of a father and the teachings of a mother is unmatched. The love where a father have for his daughter is unmatched. The love where a mother have for her son. Where we son them there as Lila Ike said, where is your son? Where is he? Who know which part of them son them there right now? And can say, my son is there and he's safe. See? So, the truth is what we really for march for is more for march back within as Rasta people. We need to retreat. We need to heal with gut, heal with self. So a guy can't come tell we about health and oh, this is what you must do to be healthy and make sure you take this 3 times. Is Rasta man place that the next guy are taking? And I'm gonna tell you, oh, when you plant the herb, make sure you do this, and is like Rasta man step aside and make a next person I tell we how to take our sovereignty where we feel live in it. Because if you live sovereign in it, you're sovereign in it. No guy now have to come sign a paper or nothing. If you have your water and your food and you have your children at under your jurisdiction, under your protection and your care, then you get me? No, first of all, our youth them not to mix up. Them not to mix. That are the first thing. We have to retreat and go heal ourselves to ourselves. At least for 50 years before we can say, yo, we are come help society. Look at we can't help nobody, you know. You can't even free Africa again like this. Forget about go down to Africa or go up Africa, go free. No, because Africa, big Africa, Honorable Kerida MacDonald, Honorable Empress Kerida MacDonald, has lived in Ethiopia and worked there. Enough of Rasta, Honorable Miguelon, live and work in Africa. And we can tell us that Africa is big, vast. So if we can have all the Rasta man and woman them in our country, right as of today, under one cause, not 2 nor 3 nor 4, one cause, then we need to retreat. And if I was the leader of an army, I would tell my army, say, look up there, let's go up there and rally back on them stronger. One next time. I could take that generation here. We have a new generation now. I could take them by force. And anything where them need in life, make them get it from we. You know what herb? Get herb from we. A dispensary where you them are going to get herb in. And they must know that. Is dispensary where you them go get herb, and is immaculate where you them go. Seeing Catholic, the heights of Catholic indoctrination will willfully put you them in that. Every day, every single day that God send, and we make them eat tasty patty, we make certain things where them shouldn't get to them and them shouldn't drop. When Christ come in our earth, Job sent to his mother and his father and said, don't make certain things come near him. Protect him. Because once it come near him, you lose. It's like you lose. You get me? Yeah. You can't make certain things come near him. I'm an honorable sister, I'm going to tell you this. You see your locks? It will never stop growing. All when life come out of your physical body, your locks will never ever stop growing. It will never ever stop growing. All the people them when you see with short hair, them have to stop them ear from grow. Because if you don't stop ear from grow, it never stop. As long as you're healthy. See? So that's my connection with my covenant. It can't cut. Because the physical body take on the identity of the invisible body. And my invisible body is a Rasta. So even when me dead and born back, even when we tread on forward, we have to take on back the identity again. Somehow we did down in India, you know, with long locks. Somehow we did in Egypt and Kemet with long locks, you know. So when we forward, we just forward the same way again. See? So, know the history and know the history of humanity. See, a man say fire burn Rome. So make we stop go Roman school now. Who said make we stop go Roman school, brother? Immaculate a Roman school. I went to St. Catherine High School, the same school where the Honorable Prime Minister go. It's a Catholic school. And all them teachers for do them school is debate, oppose each other, be prefect, you know, and report the next student when the student, you know, and you have the bad students and the good students and the all girls over here and then all the boys over here, and it's just a non-stop segregational consciousness, a divide and rule thing where we can play out back against each other. When police, we don't have no white police down here like the American them for blame, you know. We don't have no white police for blame. A poor and rich people children don't go in the police force. me say, society don't go in the police force. The original Jamaican high class people, they don't deal with becoming no police. It's people like ionize the police. See? When the commissioner sick, his Rasta must take care of him. When the prime minister have worm and diabetes, cause they have it, you can see it on them, like they can tell say, them, you get it? We did have one as the Minister of Agriculture, and from you look upon him, you know, say, him no right, him no healthy. How come him? Yeah. We know some ones in Jamaica like all Honorable Harris and them one day. We have all some honorable up here, so who them and they are expert in health. Seeing, and we have some other guy we have worm, my lord. I tell you, say. Some guy we have worm and belly problem and them thing there. I tell you certain thing and it's not right. You see me? So we claim back the thing by claim forward our life by live it. Not true saying that we need this right, but taking the right. You see me? By taking up that right, which means don't come near my children. Or we have to declare war against your state. If you come near one of my children, me alone. I don't need the whole Rasta in the world. Me alone, I'm going to declare war against your state. But with budget, with planning, with strategy, with statistics, through legal, through the media, through visual and recording sonic art, declare war against your state. Because we have the power to do that. So, when you see my daughter personally, if you can go over this up, I know say, I don't with chronic spin I so want it. When people see the Rasta daughter coming, it's like that in Jamaica, you know. Amongst a certain kind of the people, where when them see a Rasta daughter, when them see a Rasta daughter, them show you a different eyes. You know, and we know them Jamaican there, we love them. I'm telling you, we know a part of the Rasta family. We know a part of the family of His Majesty. Because we are royal people. You see me? Yeah. All over the world. When them see all our... One time I land in England and a brethren take me out of the long line, man. And just make me go through. Him say, yo, nobody search him or nothing. You see me? And him have on him border security clothes, in customs clothes, but he had dreadlocks in England and priest and everything. It's not just dreadlocks, but he have everything. And when he put with you, him say, yo, let me tell you this. He had do an interview one day, and the interview say recommend one book where you think the youth them for read. And him go like this and dip in him thing and come up with the wise mind. And him say, you didn't tell the man in the... Him say, you tell the man in the interview, say, if there's one book I can suggest to a youth, is this book. And him say, from I buy the book, me no cut my hair again, me no lose no job nor nothing. Because I deal with it the emperor style. In a Jamaica, hold on man, in a Jamaica man, let me tell you, and a wartime it, and a time for beat them something like that. Trust me man. And a wartime it, them something I will mash down place, you know. Yeah man, take time with them things there, them things they will mash down the place unnecessary man, I tell you. Them things are not normal thing them here. So, me I say, all the something where they are so take time with that there because the people them building there over this one. You see me? Me I say, just cool up. Me I say, who is Rastafari? Rastafari is not your dreadlocks. I'm so sorry, but it's true. It is not your dreadlocks, and it is not how you eat is not that enough. It is His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the First. Now that's how we get the whole thing about Rastafari from. Which is, what is the goal of Rastafari? Why should we carry on the emperor thing? Because we can lift off the emperor, you know, and just become like, enough things that we can say we use, you know, other than to say the emperor name, you know. You know? So, we can't burn Rome. Well, no, we can't say we burn Rome and we burn church if we don't have our own Rastafari church and our own Rastafari tabernacle. We spend 140 foot. We build from our money and where we have. You see me? So at the end of the day, when I say I'm my king, me a defend now. I'm my empress, you know. That's all, you know. So all who now defend His Majesty and Empress me can't relate to that. It's impossible, and we can just state that from now. If it's something other than where His Majesty and Empress Menin and Marcus Garvey say, I am going through the gate. I don't know what you're talking about. You confuse me. His Majesty, I deal with. When was the last time the world have peace? When was the last time the whole entire world have peace? Not even great grandmother can't tell with that. Come forward, come forward, come forward.
He said come forward, come speak your mind.
Forward. May I say, when was the last time humanity, when was the last time African people get related to by the global world as equal human beings? Right now, them have them G20 and the 140 billion people in Africa is not represented in the world. When the world come together and discuss what them are going to do, there's nobody in the room representing I and I. And His Majesty is a living example of that. Of someone who are going to kick down the door and stand up in the room and say, okay, Africa is here. What were you saying again? You know? What you did I discuss? What you say about vaccine and them thing there? You're not supposed to discuss vaccine without a Rasta man in the room. For say where him know about the thing. Where our scientists them there in the big room when they talk about where them are do. So no scientists not there in Africa. Rasta and a scientist. You know what I mean? So we are said to the people them say, the I them living on a sovereign self. The I them living on them divine self. Come here telling you this.
Shut your mouth and listen.
I love every time. I love every time. Come remember saying that. You know what I mean? We give thanks, man. No, we're not sing no tune. We're not sing no tune and none of that now go on. We just say to ones and ones say, remember say now is the time of judgment. And we are the main judge. I and I, we don't have nobody to look to and say, oh, and we call the judgment day. Judgment day will not come till I and I say, today is judgment day. Rastafari live. I and I, we love. Easy, yeah. Yes, I. So we want to hear this now. So now, you see as a youth now within the liberty and thing, I and I represent some of the youth them will get pushed out of Rasta and get cast out as non-Rasta because they are not perfect. When them never have no Rasta church to say, yo, me could go to that church in my community or which part them forward from. You know what I mean? We have 12 tribes. I know my brethren who get run out of 12 tribes. I and I have young brethren who are young, you know. You see me? That is like a father said to his son, say, you remember when you just start locks and your father said, come out? I like something like that now, you are do as a Rasta. I play up at the same treatment where you get from your father. when you look on a Rasta sister and say, oh, you have on pants, come out. Or, oh, you this, come out. Let me tell you this. We have one generation, you know, do not run them out and go make nothing happen to them. If them forward, take them. Love them like how you love your children. Care for them like how you care for your children. See? Stop. Cast out on the people them and tell them say them is not Rasta. I know enough musicians down here where man say, oh, them sing Rastafari and make money. Let me tell you this. If you want to make money, you don't sing about Rastafari in music industry. I mean, no one, no men come tell me about the music industry now. If me being independent, I've never signed my music to a major record company in my entire trad as an artist. And so everything we do, we did have to do that as one. And treading through the music industry, I can tell you, say, if you want to make money, don't mention nothing about His Majesty. And when you don't want to make money, and when you want to deal with something else, you see when you hear a youth say His Majesty, and you look on the youth and tell the youth, oh, he might use His Majesty, you talk nonsense. You're talking utter rubbish. You talk utter rubbish. Because Rasta no have no Rasta record label if you sign no youth and give them the money. I'll be a Babylon company in the music. If you're not making money from Pepsi, and if you're not making money from Digicel, and if you're not making money from all of them places, you're not making money.
Media and all of them. I make you look like that little girl that they lie. But them put out that thing right now, that's where from the boy. Star put out that song and say, one to see girl say, I want where there's no vision, the people perish. This man have a vision. Where you where there's no vision, the people perish. You understand? The man have a vision. He must face
King, you ready?
But some of them kick well. Yeah? You know, fuck up on their people. Religion. You know what I'm talking about? You know what
the artist.
Alright, 5 minutes.
Stand up serious, no joke. This is serious. Africa man. I was still them a try one like them feels how we know so when you're in a pen, them in a pen. So me I call up on the people them because what is up on yourself? I know say a serious time. Time to start read and research. You understand me? I know the truth, because the truth is there. Look around and see the truth. You can't go around the most high power. See me I say? So respect to the system, man. The pay the sacrifice. But I and I there right now. Rastafari, big stone.
Almighty.
Almighty live. Big stone for that.
Rockstone lit hard. Yes, man.
Blame no easy victory, you know?
We do it, man. Just line them up.
Alright.
Now I'll go say no.
Yeah.
Remember that, you know? 1963, you know? Far too long.
Far too long, you know?
God on the handle layer. We see the war kicker. So we continue to be certain. Remember that.
Remember, you know, the revolution now got televised, you know?
No.
Yeah, man.
Babylon. angel with a mighty voice saying, alas, alas, Babylon is falling. That great city, Babylon, is falling. At this time, beloved, we have one of our notable attorney in the house. And when we say one of our notable attorney, anywhere there's a case of injustice, you don't have to call this brother, because his voice is always here. So at this time, without further ado, we can call forward our notable attorney, brother Bert Samuel, to give a perspective on this scenario taking place in our island today. So put your hands together for brother Bert Samuel.
You know it go. Sometimes, you know, you have some undercover detective, you know the thing. You don't have to dread for the Rasta, you know that, right? Well, let me just give a little of my short experience amongst the system. Go to family court one time and a lady try to get custody of a little baby and she tell the judge, say, the father jump Poco and him not forget the youth. And the judge look on the man and looks there and, is it true that you're jumping Poco? And by the time him said that me jump up, it wasn't my client. So I said to him, Judge, what that have to do with the custody of a youth? The man a jump Poco. What that have to do, if a Catholic did in there swing him thing with smoke and come out of it, you'd have a problem with that? So the whole thing is that there is something against the system with African culture and our identity, the court system. Because the little sister, you know the history, and ones and ones will tell you. If you're in a vehicle and then pepper spray the vehicle, I put chemical in the vehicle for you wouldn't get disorderly. Yeah, I would have get disorderly. And it's not them charge her for too, to get disorderly. Well, we have to be disorderly to choose anything. When Bogo get disorderly, them egg him. When we don't, we have to get disorderly to get order in the society. And you know it go already from 2003, every time Rastafari enter the penal institute, Rasta go to fair split before 2003, anything Rasta go to prison for. As you enter through the prison, them trim you against your rights and to practice Rastafarianism. It was not until 2003, and I had the privilege to argue that case, that they stop trimming Rastafari when they go into prison. So it's the same thing, Nzinga now, a face. She go at them prison, them go at them jail, and them rise up back the same thing pan her and I try to come disrespect the queen. And if them didn't know them culture, them know say from her mother call her Nzinga, that means she's a queen. Straight. But them don't know him come before them. Judge in Jamaica say a daughter come before you and she name Nzinga. That alone supposed to make you give her respect that she come out of royalty. But the system don't interest in her royalty. You know the same court where Nzinga got that day there as an African queen. The same court where she go in when the court start. Them the policeman get up and say, oh yeah, God save the queen. That's what happened in the court the morning, you know. By the time you look, the real queen gone down in a jail, you know. Because them have up that woman there up in England and come talk about say she a eye queen. Which queen? Which queen them a talk about? When that youth and them carry come to Jamaica when about 7, 8, me stand up in the sun and I wave to this woman that call them force me for out there. And when me look, me see a Rasta man riding bicycle go about him business and say, my queen there my yard, and him gone. So Rasta more educated, Rasta more having the whole thing right more than the Babylon them, because the judge them really feel good for going to court every day, and before them pronounce justice, policemen are get over talk about God save Queen of England. Then you could have been educated and proud black person and have them pay homage to a queen where our great grandpeople them enslaved and I say fire burn for that queen then. Straight up. Yes. Yeah, because yesterday Mandela Park, right? And Mandela don't tell them, say, oh, me and Fidel a friend, because when me done some things I go down, him send troops down, they come help we. So we try to say, we want to be re-educated as to who are the true enemies, and who is gone down in a background old clothes, and come back in the same farmer's background. So we just want them to know, say them humiliate Nzinga, but she will rise up on them, straight up. I expect Nzinga to rise up on them. I met her today and I feel so proud. The daughter is up in her spirits, you know, so we just say, we really just want Rastafari to know that we have to be strong at this time. Every time you think say one step forward, the man and push you farther gone in the next direction. Because with the things that the locks cutting down, you know. With the things that cut out, you know, we don't know say someone could have so brave to violate. You know, come violate the sister. Right? And from you touch the queen, you touch everyone, right? So we just want to know say the time when Nzinga mother decided to give her the name of the great African queen Nzinga. We respect our mother too because few ones and ones that give them youth African name. So the sister born in a royalty, right? And them come disrespect her in a Babylon court, come and talk about God save the queen every morning inside and come disrespect I and I in the court. Well, God save which queen? Eh? Oh, you can make Bogle hero and a governor here. That is the queen of England. Brethren, stay down and hang Bogle and you still hang on to her. I talk about she at the head of Jamaica. Eh? Oh, you cannot do that. And you violate the people of Jamaica, the Queen of England as the head. Right? Them people they never used to wash them here. And I come now and they want to come cut off the sister locks. Disrespect the sister in every way. Right? Not because them say you're a liar and all that. Me don't feed them lying. You see all the Queen's Council thing. We burn up Queen's Council. Queen's Council. Yeah, but say the oath when them make liar text them a Queen's Council. Part of the oath say that you will never take a case against the Queen. And if you work for her, you're not taking no wages from her. Fire, burn Queen's Council, right as a man. Lift up Nzinga, we say lift up the Queen of Africa Nzinga today. In the name of the Most High. Bless up. Give thanks.
Give thanks, Attorney at Law, Brother Bert Samuel, an Africanist, a freedom fighter, extraordinary, and Brother Bert Samuel. Brother Bert, there's a question I need to ask because we're summarizing now, you know. The inspector came and the inspector is saying that he respects the gathering that is going on, and you know it's sad that him have to even come encroach on such a gathering talking about justice. But he's saying that the only time we have is 2 o'clock because everyone should be off the streets by 3, so give one's time to leave and to return home. So I'm asking for even 15 minutes more, and he says no, it's a strict 2 o'clock. So we don't want to be, and he said, and I don't want to make it look like the police come and create another animosity. So we don't want it to work out nicely and adhere to even the timing. So Brother Bird, this gathering is one of the many demonstrations we are planning. We'll be having one come Tuesday in Maypen, right at the police station where the atrocity, the sacrilegious act took place. Yeah, in Maypen. At 4 parts, Maypen, 4 parts in Maypen. Yeah, so we'll be having that. So what I want to remember, on Tuesday at 10 a.m. in Maypen, at the police precincts, 4 parts, another agitation will take place. So Brother Bert, in terms of this case, what do you think should come out of this gathering that we can present to the media houses to say, this is our demand from a legal point of view?
Yeah, well, you know, no change no come until you gather. You know, the first thing is, we want it to be a crime for one trim Rasta. It must be a crime. 10-year imprisonment to trim Rastafari. Because Rastafari built brand Jamaica. When them have them big advertisement of fire to make tourists come down here and make Jamaica look good, they put Rasta with locks on them.
A big flip, a big flip.
When Rasta have him locks on them, I down here and trim Rasta. I say, son, they make me shame to know, sir, this is the land of Rastafari. Yeah. So he asked me, what can be done? Right now, them breach the constitutional right for self-expression. Breach our constitutional rights to practice our religious beliefs. Them breach our, from a question of gender. Because it's a woman and they may take off her ear for come disrespect her in another way. So that what can be done is that we should now say, enough things start just saying, remember say the part name. by the people, you know. And the Babylon named the park here, you know. So we're saying the thing was started, so it just have to float. Remember, you know, how you think Paul Bogo get in trouble? When the planter them out of Morant Beer take up for the people them and talk about we are trespass on them whole plantation. And the planter and the man them will carry them on a court a friend. That's why Bogle them just said this done, you know, it's a rock stone throw up on a courthouse, let's start Morant Beer villain, you know. So that's why you know say injustice will always be there and we must come and make sure say if no justice not there we have to go choose the one ban it. So we just say we must come out of this is respect for Rastafari by the state and on a lip service. And anyone with trim Rasta or violate Rasta right should be a crime. We don't talk about the sue because when the daughter sue and get the money, who you think I pay for it? A taxpayer's money will pay for the policewoman who trim the daughter, you know. Taxpayer's money, you know, when we sue, you know. So we say them to go behind bars when them disrespect Rastafari.
Give thanks, we hear Brother Bert, we trust that all that is written down with the Brother Bert just say, kind of called say a mandatory 10 years for this kind of violation, yeah? And him say, when we sue them and the money is to be paid to the victim, it's still our money. That means that the police don't feel it yet, you know. That means they say, she have to get dismissed from police duty.
I just remember now, Ras Bingi. The man there Lindsay Public Hospital. And the man subconscious and lie down and them trim the man locks off and beard. This thing I go on last year, April, and that happened, you know. So I just remember now, say my case that still, you know. But me I try to show the eye. Them trim Ras Bingi eye, locks off and beard in April last year. And the thing come forward this time again. It not really isolated. The thing now, when the Rasta man lie down in a state of semi-consciousness.
The attack by Rasta now.
Lindsay Public Hospital belong to Ireland and your taxpayer fee. Them trim him and no one want to take responsibility for it up to now. So the whole thing are going from a Bingi have him locks for over 50 odd years, you know, and them violate the man. So the whole thing have to stand up against this violation, you know. Bless up.
So we will never forget Coral Garden incident, Coral Garden incident, Coral Garden incident. We will never forget Coral Garden incident, the crimes committed by the state. Oh, what a crime, what a brutal crime, the crimes committed by the state. What a crime, what a brutal crime, the crimes committed by the state. So we now forget the atrocities, you know. We will never forget Coral Garden incident, Coral Garden incident, Coral Garden incident. We will never forget Coral Garden incident, the crimes committed by the state. So time is against us, beloved. We now forget the injustices, and we have to get up, we have to stand up, we have to stand up for our rights. So we have a few minutes left, whereas I just want to get a few more ones to make short presentations.
Yes, give thanks for and again, my brethren on the section here right now. We want to stay united, you know, because the brethren out here and try and say, brethren, just make chronics perform because just make chronics do like a thing on the next sister. Invex and start create confusion. We don't want any of them things on the brethren, but we have Sister Robin Lace, who is here, and she says she have a message from the ancestors, so we just want to make it as quick as possible. It's the time against her, see?
Rise the national anthem, Jamaicans. It was written for this moment in time. Prophecy is fulfilling upon us. Revelation, prophecy. The crown of the 12 stars was sent to us Jamaicans. I am the woman warring the church because of my mission. Come to help us mission. given to me by the Most High God. I represent the true and living God, Anun, and I wear his crown. The church people come to take me from this property over by Portmore, where the angel assigned me to stand here and look at the sun, looking like this, and to wait upon him. I was the first one who arrived on this property in 2016 summer. Then the church people came and claimed the property, calling me a witch and a demon. They come down on me with ropes, sticks, gloves, to beat me to take this crown from my head. Most people think it's just a crown of the dead John Crow, but this is the crown of the 12 stars. I prophesy against the church. I prophesy against Bill Gates. I have no more time, but I have a YouTube channel where my prophecy is. View my prophecy, Jamaicans. Investigate what is happening to me, and if you find it to be true, rise your national anthem, as we are in great danger as we inherit the pyramid. We are in great danger because of our inheritance. Thank you.
Yes, give thanks, Sister Robin, and we have Sister Kerry Lopez, and we have the Black Star Line man in the place. Seeing, so Kerry, if you are here, just come forward. You know, they would hear from, yes, Kerry, time is against you now, so you know you have to just make it quick, Rastafari.
Man has no respect, Rastafari. It's a girl, Kerry Lopez. Rasta family, I love you so. Yeah, to His Majesty, you know what I mean? I was still, I said, alright, put down the violence for cease. In the ghetto when you beg so peace. Include you, said Mr. Big Time Police. Enough things are going well under this street. On the side of the violence. Look at who left. And that's what I say. Now look at unity amongst us. I mean, respect. Manners and understanding. Kerry Lopez, let's keep it positive.
Charted seat, charted seat, charted seat, charted seat. Who's next? Who's next? Who's next? Fredlax. Oh, Fredlax said you vocals. Now that is right now, so beloved, as we say, Maypen next Tuesday. Yes, Simon, come in.
Yeah, blessing to all the African brothers and sisters. Greet everyone in the name of His Imperial Majesty. Yes, that's the first Empress Benin, which created total balance. Well, my message to the Jamaican people is this. One, we already know the problem. Two, now we need to find a solution. Unity and organization is the key to accomplish what we will. Now, Andrew Holness and his administration have committed one of the most devious crimes against humanity, which is selling the people as a corporation or as a stocks and bonds. Now, what I want the Jamaican people to really understand from what I have to say today is that until one changes his identity from the colonial identity, you will never get liberation or salvation, believe it or not. When His Imperial Majesty stepped down off the throne of Ethiopia and make a worldwide trend around the world, he was planting seeds. And in this present time, the seeds should have taken firm root in the ground. Now, the seeds are still in the ground. Now it's time for the seeds to pull out of the ground. Oh, one. International law is the highest law of our constitutional law, which is run by every country. Every country have a different constitutional law. Jamaica have signed the agreement on September 21st, 1962 to defend and uphold human rights. Now in this present time, Andrew Holness and his administration has violated all 30 articles of that articles. Now, people of Jamaica, the article has made provision, yes my friend. The article has made provision for the people going through slavery and trying to find liberation. Now the Orthodox Church is sent here in order to liberate us. Article 27 gives every human being intellectual property rights over any property. Now Jamaican citizens, the RGD done by Spanish town on every Parish RGD, your name and identity is actually stars and bands. Just as how a man that have cow and hog and pen with so and so. So now you have to find yourself in the church of His Imperial Majesty and find your true Ethiopian name. Thank you.
Alright. It's a 1 minute, you know. Touch and go, you know. Eh? Black Lion earlier, you up on the base. So it's a 1 minute thing, a 2 minute thing, 2 minute max.
Alright, I was raised in listen this. Naya Bingi is the order mean death to black and white down presses underneath the feet. As the ancient them said 1963 enough Rasta used to die. I grew up in the St. James area and I get the history. You know what I mean? So the way the system said we have to just hold on cause it's 3 places for the human structure that you don't grow your hand middle, your forehead and your foot bottom. So even when them a fight and cut out the little sister in the ear, John no star, may I tell you say, the system make me cry. And we have to die, you know what I say? And this is not about even singing about jumping up on reggae this and reggae that. It's about unity strength, because if we don't have the unity, it's like we're gonna divide. We can't make material money make it happen. That's why I say, oh you feel like sin in your heart, when it touch your loans and your life like off, yeah. Oh you feel like sin in your heart, Melchizedek and the bone of the wall, always know. 3 places for the human structure that you don't go, your hand middle, your forehead and your foot bottom. All who love His Majesty and Empress Amiga said, yeah!
Yes, hear it now. I want you to all take out on the phone because this is a message I'm gonna send. See? Listen this. Did you know why them trim this little data? It's a message them are sent to the Rasta community. Because what Babylon is doing now, Rasta is the only opposition around here. Right? Let me tell you something. The meaning of COVID, COVID, means survey ticket of vaccination ID. And them using this for your new identity. See? So listen this now.